This week on Socratic Cinema.
Spoilers for Hawkeye if you're an idiot and decided to watch the episode anyways. Spoilers for Hawkeye.
Wow.
God.
Hawkeye, 4 stars. Liked. Hawkeye's oldest son looks like Kyle Rittenhouse.
It's, again, not the evil Avengers.
It's the
Thunderbolts.
Is he in the misunderstood Avengers?
We made it, guys. We're past the Christmas season, but here we are celebrating a Christmas. Why did...
I don't know. I'm sorry. Start over if you want. I can't stop laughing.
No, I don't want to.
You guys are funny.
She said a normal intro.
Well, you said we're past
You're
the
just
Christmas.
laughing at the way.
You said we're past the Christmas season, but here we are, like, and yet we're still here. And I thought that
Hey,
was
man,
funny.
we made it past Christmas.
Well, it's like, but we're still here talking
Merry
about
Chrysler.
what we're talking
right,
about.
But here we are talking about Hawkeye, the latest and last Marvel Disney Plus
The
TV
last one.
show.
Like latest and greatest, latest
TV
and
show of the year. Okay.
Oh, okay,
Okay,
that makes sense.
okay.
That makes sense.
Dang.
Okay.
My lesson, do
Oh
not
my
interrupt
God.
Wait,
women.
go
Guys.
ahead.
I'd be learned.
I promise I'll stop interrupting you. Go ahead.
I don't even want to do this.
No.
anymore.
You were doing great. You were doing
Guys,
great.
this is a new record for Ray Fisher call into the episode.
Casey,
Earliest Ray
Ganged
Fisher.
up on.
Casey, we'll stop
This is
interrupting you.
a
Charlie, you
mob.
ready?
You know what? Fine. Charlie, what did you think about the last 3 episodes?
She said, y'all don't introduce yourself anymore.
It's Hawkeye. My name is James DeLisio.
I'm Charlie Heatherly.
And I'm Kasey Clark.
I like how you started and you said your name last.
What happens?
Oh no, guys! We've recorded 3 episodes so far today. Things are going downhill quickly.
How can we go back to
They're
recording on
bullying me.
Discord? This is so much more fun.
It's so much more fun. Yeah. So Hawkeye. Really, the question is, how'd you enjoy the last 2 episodes? Because I haven't seen the 4th episode
Good
of Hawkeye.
God. James, what are your thoughts?
We're just gonna skip over me.
But, yeah, we'll come back. Charlie literally just didn't watch episode 4.
Just didn't watch it.
Listen. All right, let's try and regain some composure. Hawkeye is ready. Hawkeye is the. Finish my sentence, Charlie. Hawkeye is the
Most boring
Mediocre.
Marvel show.
Hawkeye is the best Marvel show. Hawkeye is the best one.
No, it's
Are you
not.
being dead serious?
Dead serious.
On your
okay.
grandma.
James just likes normal white guys doing normal white guy
For
things.
real.
It is Marvel.
You know what's the worst genre of
No,
music?
I'll swallow that.
Swag rock.
I'll turn the other cheek.
No. James's favorite superhero is like Captain America.
I'll turn the other cheek. I'll have you know, I was
He's
Team
like
Iron
Captain
Man.
Venom.
Listen. Let me speak on it a little bit. All right.
Speak on it.
Barring Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because I haven't seen that one. I just skipped it.
Is it because there's a black man in it, James?
You know, it is actually, you know? I didn't want to say it. Casey, what is wrong with you? Okay,
sorry.
listen, Wanda Vision started out really strong, got really bad about halfway through.
No.
In my opinion,
I don't agree with that.
post Agatha WandaVision is bad.
What?
Yep. After the Agatha reveal, like WandaVision was at its best when it was playing with all the TV styles. And after that, it got a little worse for me. Loki was like, all right.
You didn't finish Loki.
Yeah, because the last episode was boring.
You didn't even see Jonathan Majors, did you?
I did, and I got about
That
30
man is fine.
I felt like I'd been watching it for 6 hours, and they were having this conversation, and I checked the time, and I was 20 minutes in, and they were still talking, and I was like, okay, skip, move on.
James doesn't know how normal conversations
Dang,
work.
I'm really
so he
about to
needs-
just hop back to Charlie.
Hawkeye is the only Marvel show that stuck the landing. I think Hawkeye is my favorite Marvel show. At first, it was second place behind WandaVision, but I'm loving Hawkeye, and loved it because it's over now. I really enjoyed it.
My favorite part is that it's done.
It was a really concise. Okay, could it have been a movie? Yeah. Did it need to be 6 episodes? No, it could have been a movie. But I think it was a really good, tight story. I thought it was very refreshing to go back to this smaller scale story after things like No Way Home. I feel very judged right now. I'm not comfortable with the energy in the studio.
Oh, you're not comfortable with the energy.
What
in
do you
this
mean?
studio.
Anyways, I was a
I'm
little.
tied to this chair right now.
I was a little worried about some of the character introductions, like we talked about last time in our Hawkeye Part 1 episode. Go watch that first. I was a little worried about how they would handle things like Yelena and, spoiler alert, Kingpin. And I like how they handled one of those two characters.
Probably
Kingpin?
Kingpin.
No, Yelena.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I thought they did a disservice to Kingpin.
Like,
Oh,
like
okay.
the introduction of him, or just like?
Like his role in the show.
Okay, I agree with the role of the show. Yelena had a cool role. Kingpin was.
Yeah,
was-
that's what I meant.
Yeah, framed.
Oh, did you mean literally how they were introduced in
Yeah.
the show?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because
that-
Kingpin had the better introduction.
Yeah. I'll
Even though I
agree.
didn't see episode 4 where Yelena was introduced.
Yeah.
I hear things.
You're losing your talking privileges, Charlie.
This is off to be a great episode. No, I think Hawkeye was I honestly really liked it. I think Haley Steinfeld was excellent. Looking forward to seeing more of Kate Bishop in the Marvel universe. I'd like to see, people were saying it would be cool to see her team up with Peter Parker. I'd think that'd be really cool. I think she and Tom Holland would have a good dynamic.
Yeah.
I think her dynamic with Jeremy Renner was very fun. I enjoyed a lot of the set pieces, the Christmas setting. Maya could have been, I don't know, Maya was sort of take it or leave it for me. I thought they could have done more with her, and I really don't know that she's getting her own show. I don't think that's not
Echo.
necessary.
I don't think.
Who's watching?
No one.
My screen is off. Who's watching?
It's the same thing as giving Agatha her
And
own
I
show.
won't watch.
Right, and I won't watch. Agatha Harkness does not need a show either. Like, what are you? It's like Star Wars announced that show literally just about X-Wing pilots.
And they canceled it.
Yeah, who was gonna watch it?
Okay, my predictions are coming through. Do you guys remember the D23
Yes, and we
announcement?
said like 80% of them aren't gonna come out.
Yeah, and so far it's proving correct.
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
none of this stuff matters. No, but
We did get visions though.
we did, and Visions 8.
Yeah.
No, it didn't.
Half parts of
Do
it
you
did.
not remember the episode we did on Visions?
I remember liking most of Visions.
No, you
anyways,
don't. What?
anyways,
You
I'm tired.
didn't, though.
I did like most
you
of
liked
Visions
the
You're
robot
lying.
one.
because
The
it was
worst
good.
one. The
Listen,
worst
I'm tired
one.
of the hostility here. We're talking about Hawkeye. We're talking about Jeremy Renner, the Rogers musical, SpiderMan, Martin Scorsese, Hawkeye. All right. I think this show had a great visual style. The opening credits slapped. You remember those opening credits in episode
Yeah.
1?
Yeah,
You know, the
yeah.
thing not related to how they showed the rest of the show at all.
Yeah, it was really good though.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, it was good though.
It's like saying I really like this anime because the intro is awesome.
That's actually
I
a very
mean, that's
that
bad
is a
take.
I ain't
No,
even gonna lie,
people-
Charlie. Bad take.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
just
no.
lost that duel. whose turn is it next?
No.
Mine. You took mine.
It is
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yeah.
You took my turn.
Hawkeye 8.5.
Hawkeye 6.5.
6.
No, I'm kidding. I just wanted to make you mad. 7. Hawkeye's is 7.
Such a big difference.
Yeah, I know, crazy.
Yeah, wowie.
But so Hawkeye didn't really stick the landing to me. I think
Hmm.
that Jeremy Renner is a bad actor and very flat, and he was best in Tag the movie. And I also think that Haley Steinfeld is super bland as Kate Bishop. She's just like nerdy girl. Like, oh, I love superheroes. I like shooting arrows. That's my Kate Bishop impression.
Ouch.
I will agree that Kingpin was treated very, very horribly. Spoilers for Hawkeye if you're an idiot and decided to watch the episode anyways. Spoilers for Hawkeye.
Wow.
God.
Basically,
I apologize on the
I
behalf
don't.
of my co-host.
Wait, we'll talk. Can we talk about Kingpin in the actual episode? Because I think there's more to talk about here.
well, I'm giving my introduction, my overall takes.
And I'm telling you to stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
James, I have 2 boxing gloves in this room.
We
right
can each
now.
have one and we can duke it out.
It's like Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I can't do this anymore.
Oh, that's how we would fight, anyways. Yeah, Kingpin, I think got done dirty. Yelena was pretty fun. I'll agree with James there. But to me, I think that Hawkeye just lost the plot. Like, it was meant to be this cool mystery show, and that's how they pitched it. They kept pitching it like that, like, oh, this is a cool detective fiction show, and I'm like, what? Because it's not that, and I think that sounds really cool to me. Like, Hawkeye is detective, love it, awesome. The show did not do that. And the first 3 episodes were cool because it had the benefit of like it going somewhere. But looking back, the first 3 episodes have soured because now I see that it's not really leading anywhere. I think the biggest thing is that Echo is a really bad sort of main villain to have for a lot of this show. Like, she was the one causing a lot of the conflict. And it's because they treat her like she's an anti-hero.
Yeah, I also think another problem is that this show, like, in the first half, it's very consistently clear 1, 2, 3, your villain is Echo. And then it's like...
Psych.
Well, then it's like, then you have... Echo's kind of the villain of 4, but it's actually Yelena. Then Yelena's basically the villain of 5, and then Kingpin's the villain of 6. You like swap a villain every episode after that, and it just doesn't work. They lost the plot. I'll agree with you.
And then you have Swordmaster Jack,
who turned out to be a good guy,
who's apparently good, even though he runs the shell corporation that
made no
money
sense
through
to
the
me.
tracksuits.
Right.
I'll say that made zero
literally
sense.
still a money launderer.
Yeah,
which is less bad than like killing people.
That's true. But racketeering,
hey,
charges.
People got to make a living.
Okay, you got to keep him in swords, I guess.
I thought seeing him use his sword was kind of fun. I thought it was cool.
No, yeah, it definitely was.
also
And then we
really
had
lame.
the twist with her mom too, Eleanor.
Okay, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was
good.
pretty cool.
I like the
Being
twist.
Yeah.
But I just...
Not mommy dearest.
Two archery people, I think they made them seem like really or not underpowered, very appropriately powered. They're not that strong, and the more cosmic the Marvel Universe gets, the less impressive these people get to be.
Sure,
That's
they're less.
fair.
They're not cosmic, but they're not Okay, I concede. They're not cosmic, but I'm done. I'm moving on. I can't believe you don't like Haley Steinfeld.
My gosh.
I think that she is just like okay.
Really?
Like I have no particular love towards her character.
Have you seen?
She's just kind of quirky.
Have you
she's
seen
kinda
True Grit?
quirky.
Have you seen True Grit?
Yeah.
I love her in True Grit.
Yeah.
She's great in True
Yeah.
Grit.
This is
Alfred
this isn't
agrees.
True Grit.
She's
so-
great in Hawkeye too.
Nope.
Well, I feel like their dynamic is okay. Like, I feel like she's a very good, like, she provides a good amount of quirkiness to Jeremy Renner's, like, straight man.
Mhm.
It's like sweet and sour sauce.
Wouldn't say that, but I understand what you're
You
saying.
get it? They like temper each
No,
other.
I like the
Yes,
sweet and
yeah.
sour sauce comparison. That's
yeah,
cool.
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, it's like a
Um,
little bit of sugar on my lime.
Exactly. A little salt in my apples.
yeah, it is. It is like salt in your apples.
Yeah.
Salt on tahini on my watermelon?
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh.
Yeah, that's kind of a bad one. It's kind of a bad one. I'm not-
I can't do anything right.
Let's listen. Kasey, what did you think of
I
Hawkeye?
know. I was like, did I get to
She just didn't say any words there. That
Yeah.
was just exasperated noises.
I enjoyed it. The last.
Kasey, shake my hand.
Why'd you do that?
Shake a poor beggar's hand.
We got the whole squad laughing today.
Oh my god.
Breathe. In. Out.
Okay, Kasey, are you
Kasey.
ready to give your
I'm
take?
good.
Gather
I am.
yourself. All right.
I am. My take is that it was okay. I feel like it was enjoyable. Definitely not my favorite Marvel Disney Plus like show, but it was good. Like, would I rewatch it? Probably not. But would I recommend it to watch to someone? Sure. If it was a required watch, I don't think it would be a required watch. Like, I would say, like, oh, you don't need to watch this
True.
to enjoy other things.
No.
True.
Not yet. I mean,
not
if,
yet. They might reveal something.
Well,
and-
yeah, because I think there's some things to talk about.
Yeah.
You want to hear my
But-
Letterboxd review? Oh, were you not done?
I give it a 6.
Oh no,
Go
go
on.
You get a 6? Casey, I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. I give it a 6. It was alright. I enjoyed what I enjoyed, which was the dynamics, and I really like scenes where it was like
I like the LARPers.
the LARPer. Yeah, the LARPers were pretty
would.
funny.
You're kind of a LARPer.
What do you mean?
Think about
I
it.
also like the
You
trick.
sit with that for a
I
little
like
bit,
the
all right?
trick arrow scene.
The trick arrows are all excellent. The trick arrows are lovely.
They were very good. They were very good. But yeah, it
Okay.
just wasn't my favorite.
That's
Yes,
fair.
you're-
No, I'll hear it. I'll hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fair
I'm
to
done
her.
now.
She gives a lower rating than me.
Yeah,
It's
because I
fair to
like
her.
her. Listen, do you guys want to hear some slam poetry about Hawkeye that I wrote on my letterbox?
Yes, sir.
Eye to eye.
Oh,
Yo!
Hawkeye, 4 stars. Liked. Hawkeye's oldest son looks like Kyle Rittenhouse. Say I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong. Say I'm wrong. He does.
James said, "I'm not going to be controversial for any of these other
list
episodes."
That Maya had, he didn't have like an age or anything.
No.
They knew. They're like redacted.
Kid no Oh my gosh.
Oh,
yeah.
my
I saw it
goodness.
and I couldn't unsee it, right?
Goodness gracious.
I can't even remember what his oldest son looks like. so-
Exactly.
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Okay, got it. Pictured in my mind.
I can't be here anymore.
I got it.
But where do we begin? I think we begin with some of our fears from last time that we carried over. We were worried last time that the inclusion of Yelena would distract from the overall show. Because what we had last time, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, was that we were all like pretty excited to see where it was going, and we were a fan of Steinfeld and Jeremy Renner, and that was essentially where we left off. And we were worried that Yelena would detract from that.
Because we knew she was coming.
Right, we knew she was coming. And now my question to you is, do you feel like your fears were realized? Do you think Yelena detracted from the show? Because that was the hot issue.
I feel like it detracted in the way that it kind of made Echo obsolete in a way. Where it kind of just brought down Echo to the point where it's like, oh, we don't really need, like, it went from being like a B plot to like a F plot really quick with the addition of Yelena. And even with like the stuff between her and Kasey? Yeah, Kasey. That, again, it's just became things where it's like, I don't really... In the list of priorities, I don't care that much anymore.
Right, they're lower priority. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's like it just felt like once Yelena came in, they kept Maya Echo around to introduce Kingpin, and then that's kind of where her...
Yeah.
Totally true. I think that especially the last episode is way too much of a setup for like the Echo show.
Yeah.
In that they didn't have enough to do with Echo in previous episodes.
Yeah.
And Yelena was the star of the final episode with her big emotional reckoning.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
like, well, we need something to do with Echo, even though she's sort of like
Have her
been on
shoot
the
Fisk.
outskirts. Yeah,
Yeah.
so she'll shoot Wilson Fisk, the coolest villain that Marvel has had in a while. Will just kill him off. He's not dead.
Yeah, and I was going to say...
in the comics, she just blinds him.
Right, I
Yeah.
was going to say I don't think he's dead. And she shoots twice in this. And the way I perceive that is like his eyes, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he says eye to eye, and then in the comics, she had shot him in both of his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Dang,
you...
that's kind of
I don't know how
brutal.
you get shot in the eyes and not the brain.
He just
Well, dude,
meaty, bro.
he's thick. Yeah.
Do you think it just stopped at the eye? Like it didn't go all the way through?
Yeah, his cornea's strong.
Kind of key moment.
Comic him up for real. You ever been lobotomized by a
Dude,
bullet?
Fisk about to join S.H.I.E.L.D.
You guys, they don't get these references.
His Heisei arc.
He about to
What
get
are
a
you talking about?
quinque?
These are Tokyo Ghoul
This
references.
is only funny to Kasey and I.
Yeah, I've seen the show and it's not even me.
It's not even.
Anyways,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
so Fisk is definitely not dead. I don't think Marvel is stupid enough to bring in one of their biggest villains and then kill him off that episode.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that dumb. I mean, they've squandered some villains in the past. You remember Scorpion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
talked
Charlie,
about
you
it.
don't? You know why?
Scorpion's a bad villain in the first place.
But he's a classic Spider-Man like Rogues Gallery, and they introduced him in
classic
Homecoming.
doesn't mean good.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, Scorpion to me exists in the same level as like Electro and Vulture and
That's
Rhino.
a bad take. Yeah.
Electro, Rhino, Vulture, Scorpion.
Electro, Rhino, and Vulture are way cooler than Scorpion.
I'd put Dr. Octopus over Scorpion.
What I agree entirely. I think
Okay.
everyone would.
Okay.
Electro's cool.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
basic
Scorpion's a
take.
classic villain, but it's just like, oh, he's a Scorpion.
But I'm just saying they introduced him in the
Nah,
Homecoming
he's a
and then never
Scorpion.
did anything with it. Is my thing.
no, they will.
But eventually, Spider-Man 8.
Yeah.
Scorpion's back.
No,
He's out of prison.
I get it. They've squandered some villains, and I think that if the big reveal was that it was meant to be Kingpin, like, because every Marvel series so far has had like a big reveal. that they do to change up like the status of the world.
It feels like Marvel shows don't stand for themselves. They stand to introduce something else.
I like big reveal.
They're like 6-episode post-credit scenes. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the post-credit scene for this show did absolutely nothing for me.
It was just the Rogers musical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
I didn't
bro.
actually see it. I missed it.
It's because all
You
of
didn't miss much. It was just the full song.
What did you want
Yeah.
to
3
see?
minutes.
Marvel has spoiled us.
Oh,
with
please.
post-credit
They did
scenes.
it to themselves.
They did it.
Yeah.
No. But what I'm saying is they Pavloved us totally. And now when we don't get, some guy walking through and being like, "It's me, Blimko," and everyone's like, "Oh, it's Blimko," right? We feel cheated now. Marvel has like completely Pavloved us into
That's true.
expecting
That's fair.
like a crazy. It's every Marvel property can't have another world-altering reveal. Like it's just not a sustainable model. So I mean,
That's fair.
like I think it had to happen at some point.
I think the world-altering reveal was the canonization of Fisk, but we had already gotten that.
I like the use of that verb in not the saintly sense.
I was right. Saint Fisk, patron saint of who even knows
Saint
crime.
Fisk. But we already got that in No Way Home.
with
Matt Murdock.
With Matt Murdock.
Sorry,
Yeah.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
But right? It's like that should have been the big reveal, being like, "Oh, it's Fisk." And I mean, everyone
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, it's Fisk," but it wasn't like that kind of jab of being like, Matt Murdock's in the MCU now.
Yeah.
And what that means for all these things is just like, oh yeah, we already know Matt Murdock's in the MCU.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that Fisk's in Hell's Kitchen. That's where Fisk is.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Yelena and Fisk reveals totally just like made Echo look like nothing. It's just like
Yeah.
totally nothing anymore,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm sort of sad about. I think they either should have gone for Fisk Yelena from the start, or
That sounds like a ship name. Fisk Yelena.
Fisk and Yelena from
Yeah.
the start. I think they should have
Fisk.
gone with Yelena
Yes.
from the start, or they should have stuck with Maya. I think they tried to do too much, and I think halfway through they sort of like decided to switch from the Tracksuit Mafia to Yelena and Fisk, and it just was like we
Yeah.
lost the plot. as you
Have
said.
Yelena pull a Winter Soldier, start just pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, I
and
think
killing
then
people's
reveal
fathers.
her episode 2 or 3.
yeah, I think that would have
Mhm.
worked. I would have liked that.
I just feel like the Tracksuit Mafia is way too weak to take on Hawkeye. Like
Yeah,
specifically Echo. Echo's not that like
she don't got
imposing.
no powers.
She doesn't have any powers.
I mean, neither does Hawkeye.
Yeah,
That's
but like
true.
he's really good with a bow and arrow. What is she good with?
She has that
Her
metal leg.
fists. She
Oh,
be
yeah,
kicking
that's
people.
gonna help.
Dude, that was cool in Full Metal Alchemist.
It
Yeah,
was
but
cool
like
in Kingsman,
in-
where she had like a knife.
yeah, she doesn't have a knife in her leg.
Yeah, you right. I'm just saying.
And also she like you're fighting a guy whose thing is range. Like
Yeah.
he's just gonna beat you.
I will say, I loved Yelena's. For as much as I think she detracted from the Tracksuit Mafia, she was great. She was so much
great.
fun, and
yeah, she was.
she was great in Black Widow. She was great in this. Like Florence Pugh's just an incredible actor.
Yeah.
And I love her dynamic with Haley Steinfeld. I thought they had excellent chemistry. Their scenes together,
Very
Yeah.
true.
beautiful.
That's true.
The choreography of their fight in the building and like the cameras just trucking along, like seeing them go through all the office rooms.
Oh yeah,
That was really good to me.
that was in 2 shots, I think, because they hit a cut.
Oh yeah.
They hit a cut. and
Right,
then- but it
when they're
looks
going,
like a
yeah, they
long
usually,
tracking.
yeah, that's how they do it.
Mm,
Yeah, so
love
that was great.
Liars.
Yo,
Nice.
Cheats.
It's like 1917. Yeah. The amount I will never get over when I'd be like, oh yeah, it was like a one take movie, and people would be like, actually, they hit about 7 to 8 cuts. It's like,
Yeah,
I know, genius. It looks like one take. Like
Yeah.
that's
that's
it's
the
also
point.
like
It's
way
still
more
impressive.
than 8 cuts. Like,
yeah.
So anybody who's like, oh, it's only 6 or something, it's like there's like 20 or something.
And
in there.
even
Like,
still, that's still wildly impressive that
Yeah.
they did it. Like
to make it look like it's one take is what matters.
yeah. Anyways, we're Hawkeye had a lot of long takes too, though. We talked about that last time a little
And
bit.
all of them
Yeah.
were bad.
No.
No, I'm kidding. I just said that to make you mad. No, they're probably fine. I probably said that I liked Haley Steinfeld's performance in the first 3 episodes. I think it just overstayed its welcome for all 6.
like she didn't change enough.
She was
She didn't
supposed
change
to
enough.
leave. Oh, gotcha.
Like she was just the same character all the way through.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, she didn't have a crazy arc.
Yeah. Wait, speaking of crazy arcs, this is a fun Marvel fact that could have changed the way that the universe works.
Oh, whoa,
From Falcon
what?
and the Winter Soldier. Guess what that show was originally about?
What?
A pandemic.
Really?
The show was
Oh my
written before
God.
COVID. And the original plot was that a pandemic went on after the snap occurred. And they make vaccines for everyone, and the whole population is inoculated, and then half the population comes back. So suddenly, half the world isn't protected by this disease. And what the main girl's thing is she isn't trying to get super soldier serums. She's trying to get vaccines for her people. And they couldn't reshoot the series because of, COVID, obviously.
Yeah.
So all of the times where they talk about like the serum or the vaccines, they specifically edit it so that it is like shots of people looking at the person that's talking. And they just do dubs for all the other stuff.
imagine
Oh,
the
wow.
nightmare that would have gone on
Yep.
Twitter.com if the original show went out? That would have been insane.
Yep.
Jeez. Has there been
Yeah.
any
Wow.
fictional media to tackle pandemics?
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Since COVID.
Oh,
no.
what we
Oh, Grey's Anatomy.
didn't we watch? We watched a movie where it was like, oh, you.
We didn't watch you.
We didn't watch you, but I've watched you.
You watched you?
Yeah.
Who's on first?
I'm gonna choke him out. At the end of this episode, I would have committed an act of violence.
I heard Superstore is like supposed to. Do you know the show Superstore?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's supposed to take place like along with real time, and so in
Oh,
the last season
God.
they were all wearing masks.
Yeah, I heard that
apparently.
Joe is also a good show that does that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Please free me. Free me. I can't keep doing this.
James was confused for a second, had
I
a
said, "Oh,
knowing
yeah,
glance,
Joe?"
and then said, yes.
Verily. No, that's interesting. I wonder if it'll be like, do you know how there's all those movies? It reminds me of all those, like, in the original Lilo and Stitch, there was supposed to be a scene where the plane is like flying through the city and it like crashes into a building, but they changed it to be in the canyons because
Yeah.
9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Dang.
I wonder if this is gonna be like that, where it's like we just can't, like we don't talk about it.
We don't.
I know. I
We don't
wonder
talk
because it
about
reminds
it.
that.
I think
reminds
that the
me.
COVID-19 pandemic will totally be something that we don't talk about. Because like it's not interesting enough to make movies about, in that
Yeah.
it's just like a boring,
They
sad
did
thing.
Contagion already.
Yeah, like the cool the interesting part for a movie would be that like it's this breakout and people are panicking, but what really happened is like we all just stayed inside for
What's
2
like
years.
panicky shots of people like scraping toilet paper
Yeah,
off the
for-
shelves.
yeah.
Well, and like the disease itself, like
Paranoia.
isn't as dramatic as they would want it for a movie. Like it's nobody's like eyes, bulging out of their head or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's awful.
Yeah.
It's really bad, but it's not like cinematic. So, and I think the same thing happened with the Spanish flu. Like there's very little documentation about what happened, and
'Cause it
very
was
little
just so
media
bad.
covering the Spanish flu because nobody wants to
Man,
dwell
yeah.
dwell
No
on
one
that.
wants to
if I'm gonna
relive
live
that.
through a major world event, there might as well be cool movies about it.
Okay, well you make the cool movies about people staying inside their houses.
It would be boring.
It would be
Yeah.
super boring.
We already got Bo Burnham's Inside. I guess that's pandemic media.
That's pandemic media, and I think that is the best pandemic media that we'll
Not
get.
again.
Let's not.
Not
talk about
again.
it.
I
Let's not talk
can't
about
do
it.
it, guys.
I like
Oscar
it.
nominee.
I like it less than when I originally saw it.
Lead actor Bo Burnham?
Do you think?
No,
No way in a million years.
it's not an actor thing. They
Sound
can't.
mixing.
Yeah, I could
for
see it getting
Bo
best
Burnham.
sound design or visuals, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Maybe a nomination.
Oh,
Is it
visuals.
even eligible?
I have no clue. I don't know how movies
wouldn't
work
think
anymore.
So.
Maybe like documentary. Does it count as documentary? I don't know. What does it count as?
A comedy special.
But it's like not even. I
it's
don't
a
know.
comedy special.
It's a
with
dramedy.
existential dread.
Yeah.
Feeling the world with dramedy.
It's like if they tried to make the last 2 episodes of Evangelion a comedy special.
sir.
Oh no.
I love
Evangelion Rebuild
Again.
3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time for an Oscar nomination.
yes.
Can you imagine them saying Best Animated Picture goes to Evangelion Rebuild 3.0 plus 1 plus 0 Thrice? The longest name ever. I can't even say it.
Yes.
Bro, not a Fallout Boy name.
Literally.
Elon Musk's kid is going to be named that.
Yeah. Dude,
Thrice Upon a Time plus 1 plus 0.
I actually want that to get a Best Animated Picture nomination. I know it won't, but I'd like that.
That'd
It'd
be
make me
cool.
happy.
I thought you were gonna say like Elon Musk's kid.
Yeah,
And I was
nominate him
like,
for an Oscar.
Do it.
Oh man.
Digitize him. And put him.
Digitize him.
Do you know what would also be great to talk about for Oscars? Tom Holland
Here he comes.
versus
Here he comes.
Martin Scorsese.
Knock it out of the park. Pew, pew. We hit it.
Segway.
The ball.
I know nothing about this. James, can you talk to us about
Listen.
the feud between Martin Scorsese and Tom Holland?
Here's what's going on. It's time for some news. Some Socratic
Some
news alerts.
news.
No. We're
Daily
talking about
Bugle.
this in the Hawkeye episode because it's Marvel. And as you all know, everyone thought that Peter Parker might show up in Hawkeye, and he didn't. Would you have liked him to? Before we talk about
Yes.
Scorsese, you would have liked a Tom Holland appearance.
I wanted that to either be the solution in the climax or the end credit scene.
Do you think it would have been even more messy? Like,
I think it would have been even more gosh darn awesome.
sure, but do you think it would have been?
I don't want to entertain any idea of it being
End
messy.
credit scene.
Do you think it would
That's
have
my answer.
compounded the issues
No.
that we already had with Yelena and Kingpin?
No and yes, and I don't care.
I do think, however, no, let's because I'm interested in this. I think, I really hope
I just want Spider-Man in it.
I would have liked it too. We talked a few times with Marvel properties about how Phase 4 is split into two halves. There's the street level half and there's the cosmic half, and they're very distinct, right, from each other. I think that's still a fair take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Hawkeye was really introducing Kingpin is a big boon to the street level half, you know? Like
Mhm.
that's a big thing. I really hope we get like a Kingpin arc over the series of a few Marvel movies or properties. Like I hope he becomes a major player. Like I want to see in the next SpiderMan trilogy, if that happens, I'd like to see SpiderMan Kingpin.
That'd be great.
Spider-Man
would be
Daredevil
great.
Kingpin. I can't wait to finally see Avengers 8 against the evil Avengers. That would be cool.
The Thunderbolts.
The
who's-
Thunderbolts.
Who's the roster so far? Yelena is in it.
Hawkeye's in it.
Is Hawkeye in the evil Avengers, do you think?
It's again not the evil Avengers.
It's
It's
the
the
Thunderbolts.
Is he in the misunderstood Avengers?
Yes, Hawkeye is the leader of the Thunderbolts.
Why?
I don't know.
What?
You just don't want to go back to the Avengers.
Oh, it says who? I don't think he is.
You want me to Google it? Oh, do you want to put money on it?
No, not in the comics. Not in the comics.
Money.
I'm saying I don't see Hawkeye. I
Like-
mean,
like
I'm saying we're building the roster in real time here. Who's in?
well,
Yelena.
it's Agent Evil.
Is Yelena even in now? Like, what is?
She's kind of good
yeah,
now.
she's working for Val.
But now
So
she's not
still
anymore.
working for. I
Like, she
think
didn't kill
she's-
Hawkeye.
I don't think that doesn't mean she's not working for Val though.
Val is like evil though.
if they
also,
wanted to,
I heard a reach theory that Eleanor called Val and then Val came to Yelena at the end of Black Widow and gave her the hit on Hawkeye, and that's how they cross over, like time-wise,
well, that makes sense. To me, yeah.
timeline-wise.
I buy it.
And then that's how she showed up within like a couple of
Yeah,
Intriguing.
I feel like
right?
if they wanted Yelena to be in the Thunderbolts, they should have saved the she wants to kill Hawkeye motivation, right?
Yeah.
Because that was her. Now she doesn't have a reason. Like they
Mhm.
should have saved that for the Thunderbolts attack.
Yeah, she is pretty good at killing people.
Well,
though.
but she has no motivation to now. Like there's no reason for her to fight the Avengers.
Maybe it was a fake out. Like maybe they don't bring back Thunderbolt Ross and they don't do the Thunderbolts.
I kind of hope they do because I think that's really cool. I'd like to see
Yeah.
that.
I would
think it
hate
could be
for them
cool.
to just not do anything with Val and Agent Evil.
Oh, the
I know
U.S.
that's not
agent
his
or
name.
whatever.
Yeah, U.S.
Yeah,
Agent.
I didn't watch that show again.
It's just like it's so
God.
many players in the Marvel universe now. I think it's so hard to tie it all together.
I would rather
Yeah.
focus. I think they're not going to try and tie together the cosmic and street level as much. I think they're going to try and keep those pretty separate.
I think that's what Spider-Man was about. Was that Spider-Man was walking the line and they're like, we need to pick a side for him to go down, and then they're gonna have him lead the street level.
I
path.
think he's street level, and I love that.
I think that's
Yeah.
so cool.
yeah, and like Doctor Strange is sort of leading the cosmic. front.
Cosmic,
Yeah.
yeah.
Multiverse of Madness looks really good to me.
I wasn't
Evil
very
Doctor
convinced by the
Strange.
teaser.
Really,
but
I love like the shot of him walking out into New York, and there's all those like creepy.
That was cool.
That was super cool. I hope they lean more into like creepy, but I know they won't because it's
Mhm.
Marvel and they play it safe.
Right. But when it was being first talked about, it was being talked about as like a horror.
Right, and Sam Raimi's a horror director.
Yeah,
So I hope they lean into
so-
it. But Feige did say it's not a horror movie, but it's like
More
it's
psychological.
inspired by horror,
Mhm.
I think. I hope they lean more into it, though.
yeah, and
Mhm.
speaking of Marvel, like not going all the way for some things, I think that's gonna be the main problem with Kingpin. Is that in Daredevil, he is like terrifying.
He bludgeoned someone.
Yeah, with a car door.
In a car door.
Yeah, because he like said something like vaguely wrong or something.
It embarrassed him in front of like the girl that he likes, and he's like, "You embarrassed me in front of," and just kills him.
Yeah, just kills him.
I didn't watch Daredevil. I feel like I should.
Oh,
It
you
was really, really like I have a thing about bludgeoning. Not my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Hot takes.
Worst way to die.
I buy it.
In the top 5 ways to die.
Yeah,
True.
But it was like it was bad.
No.
It was bad. Like Kingpin be just killing people.
And they're
in
never
Daredevil.
gonna reach that level of menace again.
Yeah,
like
they can't.
They can't because they're not gonna go for it. Or, ooh, this is a cool take. What if Kingpin becomes the Deadpool villain?
Is there precedent for that? I think that'd be a good contrast.
I'm pretty sure Deadpool's crossed over with Kingpin at some point.
Oh yeah, because he's crossed over with Deadpool.
Yeah, he does stuff with
Spidey's a
Spider-Man.
thing.
Yeah.
I think there's been, from my understanding, both of the Deadpool villains have been very like serious to contrast with Deadpool so far. I want to see them do something different. I don't know that another serious villain will be good for Deadpool because we've already had 2 of them. But I do like that idea. But I wonder what they can do with like.
Here's the other thing. I think they're gonna play Fisk for laughs. I think that that's how they avoid the problem of him like never being scary enough.
Oh my gosh.
Like I think that D'Onofrio can be a funny guy if they like use him as like a straight man or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just
But
it makes me
like
sad.
that.
That's a very Marvel. That's a very Marvel move. That's a very
Yeah.
Marvel MCU move, I should say. Marvel humor. That's what it is. That bothers me. I don't like that as much, but I think it could happen, and I'm scared of that.
Mm-hmm. I'm a portent of doom.
Yeah. Well, what I would like better with them bringing in like Matt Murdock and Kingpin into the MCU, I want a soft reboot of the Netflix Marvel series that they canceled to just like bring those people kind of back so you can do any recasting that you want. Please give me Luke Cage back. I'm begging. But you can do any of that, but you can kind of bring them back in and be like, okay, you can decide what's still canon from those shows, what's not. And you can kind of bring them in at like that street level because we don't need Iron Fist. Let me just say
Leave him.
Leave him. But like Jessica Jones was really interesting, and that's very street level. Luke Cage was pretty interesting. That was very street level, very like in a neighborhood. So if they want to keep doing like all this like street level things, I feel like it would be pretty cool to try to like bring back some of those people, even if it's in like cameos.
I don't
or,
know
like
that they
mentions.
need I don't know if they need a whole reboot for it. I think they can do it sort of Hawkeye style, sort of No Way Home style, and just start sprinkling them in.
I would also like a Heroes for Hire reboot. I think that'd be cool.
What is Heroes for Hire?
Oh, Heroes for Hire is like all of the street level characters put together. There's like an agency that like it's like Uber but for superheroes.
I thought that was Defenders or whatever.
No, they're different. Well, my only problem, like Iron Fist should definitely not be a character, but the only reason I'd be sad for him to not be a thing is because him and Luke Cage are like a classic duo.
That's true.
In the comics, and they work really well together in the comics, but like they need to find some other person for Luke Cage.
Iron Fist.
Well, recast Iron Fist. I think that they need to like, if they're gonna have him, they need a really good reason for him to be in there. That probably changes his backstory a little bit.
That's true. Yeah.
Because like there's a huge problem with that. But
he really said, "I'm rich and want to learn kung fu."
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, he's the biggest martial artist, and then Shang-Chi's like, huh? What? Excuse me. That would be cool if they made Shang-Chi like the Heroes for Hire companion to Luke
like
Cage.
the Iron Fist equivalent.
I would love that.
I'd love that.
But except he's too powerful for that.
That's true.
Yeah, where does Shang-Chi
He's way
fit?
more
Is he cosmic or street level?
Cosmic.
I'd say cosmic.
But
that's supernatural. The 10 rings.
The 10 rings.
That's fair. I feel like he's a new hero, so I don't really know where he fits in the game yet. Like Phase 4 so far has been a lot of like remixing pre-existing characters.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to wait and see with Shang-Chi a little bit. But
that's such a good take. It really is just remixing people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Continue.
Anyways,
guys, we've had a narrative arc this episode. We went from conflict at the start, discord, chaos, and now Casey just said good take to James.
I always compliment
And that
people.
will never happen again.
This is just
James
like
will never do
MasterChef.
another good take. This is just like MasterChef.
It
Not
happens.
everything relates to MasterChef.
It's like those tweets where it's like guy who's only ever seen Paddington 2 watching his second movie, getting a lot of Paddington 2 vibes. Let's talk about Martin Scorsese and Tom Holland.
Do it.
Finally, here we are.
I love how we had the segue to that, and then we just
I said,
ignored it.
Hold on, we're not there yet. Listen, a while ago, like a few months ago, maybe even a year ago, I don't really remember, Martin Scorsese did like a think piece saying that MCU movies are not cinema. They are entertainment. They are like roller coasters. He compared them to like theme park rides. He said they're not cinema, they're theme park rides. They're just like entertainment. And a lot of people got really mad at him for saying that, right? They were like, how dare you? You are just a cynical, cranky old man, and you only like indie movies and blah, 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 blah. And people, fire bombs being thrown
As they should.
in the trenches in
Wow.
twitter.com. It was crazy. Now, flash forward a few years. Somehow the discourse got picked back up when No Way Home came out. I don't know how. I don't know if he published another thing, but it was just like people were talking about it again after No Way Home came out. And Tom Holland said in an interview that hold on. Tom Holland, hypebeast.com has got me here. All right. You want to know what he said?
Hypebeast.com is your source.
No, go on.
Listen. Hypebeast.com has got me. So Martin Scorsese was talking all this smack. Somehow the discourse reignites here after No Way Home came out. And Tom Holland was asked about it in an interview. And Tom Holland says he doesn't know what it's like. He's never made one. I've made Marvel movies. I've been in movies that have been in the conversation for Oscars. And the only difference is that one is more expensive than the other. And he basically says that he thinks superhero movies are real art. And he thinks that No Way Home is going to be in the talks for Oscars. Marvel is reportedly putting a lot of their budget into an Oscar campaign for No Way Home.
All of what Tom Holland said is true, and I agree.
Really?
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like-
he made points.
Yeah, like, so I get that it's easy to see Martin Scorsese's the master, right?
Mhm.
And Tom Holland's some kid that's just, made a couple movies. But he's right. Tom Holland has been able to see both sides of that world. Martin Scorsese's very much in his own domain. And I think that it is super elitist for Scorsese to come off the mountaintop and be like, the movies that I make are incredible cinema. And all of these, the movies that a lot of people like, the highest grossing ones, those ones are bad and awful. And
Well,
they're
I
not
think
movies.
this is where I think the problem is that people are, I think, taking what Scorsese said and villainizing it.
Yeah.
Like, they're making him
Yes, they
seem like
should.
a cranky old man, but like, I don't
He's
think
super cranky.
It does
yeah.
kind of
But
give
no,
cranky
I
old
don't think he
man.
was trying to say. I don't think Martin Scorsese is trying to say that the Marvel movies are bad. He said they're not cinema, and I think he's using cinema in a very specific way there to refer to more of like an artistic experience. Because I think a lot of the Marvel movies are very. Maybe it's just post Endgame that I'm being disillusioned, but I think a lot of the Marvel movies are very samey. I don't think a lot of them have a clear vision that take risks or try and say anything. I think a lot of them are. I don't think there's anything wrong with them being entertainment or a theme park ride. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's just like I don't watch the Marvel movies to like learn or get a message or see like a vision put on screen. I go to see the comic book characters do the fights and this stuff. And I think Marvel is starting to get better at this sort of thing with things like Shang-Chi or Hawkeye. But I understand what Scorsese's saying. Like, I don't think what he's saying is unfair at all. Was it a very volatile statement that's easy to take as like fighting words? Yes. Could he have said it in a more clear and kinder way? Yeah. But I see what he's saying and I agree. So
So you agree with Scorsese?
I agree with I don't know that I whole hog agree with Scorsese, but I very much understand what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
Sorry, it was just the hog that.
Yeah,
made me
that
widen my
offset
eyes.
me a little bit.
Have you
there.
never heard whole hog?
No, I've heard of it.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
It's just a saying.
Okay, sure, whatever. I just think that it's very elitist of Scorsese, and I think that we're at the beginning of an era where it's just normal for every director to take pot shots at Marvel because they're making less money than Marvel. Like, this happened with Ridley Scott too. Like Ridley Scott said this. He said that everyone's brains have been like their attention spans can't take like actual cinema because they've been rotted by
That sounds
Marvel.
a little more mean.
Well, like even with Martin Scorsese, like these aren't cinema. I hate when people gatekeep art because like, sure,
Yeah.
these movies are not like, some big societal message or whatever, but to kids and to people, these can be inspirational. Like these are superhero stories. We have always relied on superhero stories. The Iliad, like the Odyssey, all of that, superhero stories from our very founding. And you would consider those art. I consider Marvel's what they do art. And sure, you might think it's repetitive or bad art. It's still art nonetheless. It's still cinema. We could still have epic moments. We could still have epic experiences. And in fact, Marvel can do things that other movies can't do. Like Marvel can create spectacles.
Yeah.
And like, maybe it is that saying that Marvel movies are like theme park rides, maybe that's a compliment. I think that it's all cinema and Marvel just happens to be doing something that other movies aren't right now. And some directors are a little bit confused by the change. They're having trouble adapting to it. And I think they're letting that out on Marvel movies.
Yeah. I mean, I think too, James, like going back to our No Way Home episode, like your relationship with Spider-Man, like that's formed by superhero movies. Maybe not necessarily MCU Spider-Man, but like
I
overall that kind of is like exactly what Charlie's saying, where it's like where superhero movies may not be The Irishman or anything like that.
Thank God.
I would consider the Raimi Spider-Man movies cinema. I would consider the Amazing Spider-Man 1 cinema.
You're a snob, dude.
No, I wouldn't consider.
You're such a snob.
I think he's very specifically talking about MCU movies. I think that's I think that's fine. You're right that so much of I love superhero movies, but I just I'm getting a thumbs up. Oh yeah, you're right. That I have such a strong relationship with superhero movies, but I don't think what Martin Scorsese is saying is elitist. I don't understand that because I mean, what is more accessible to make? I mean, something like an indie film or a $1 bajillion Marvel movie. Like I think it's
accessible to make is different than accessible viewing. Like,
okay, sure.
The reason why indie films have such a hard time getting funded is because oftentimes they have a much more artsy idea than what one would consider a blockbuster action flick.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Charlie. Whatever you were about to say, I'm gonna stop you right there because I don't think that either of us are gonna change each other's minds. If I know anything about our debates on this show, I know that we are both too stubborn and hard-headed to ever actually change each other's minds on anything.
All right, coward.
They're sleeping in separate beds.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been happening
Charlie
for
is sleeping
months
on the
now.
couch tonight.
It is not like Phil and his brother
Sleeping in the
y'all
same
don't
bed.
cuddle?
sleeping in the same bed.
No, but I mean, I listen, I get what you're saying. I hope you can at least see what I'm saying. I think apparently not. I try to be a gentleman.
I did a little head nod where I said, "No,
Yeah.
stupid take alert."
Okay. Nothing against you if you like Marvel movies. I like Marvel movies too. I've seen every one of them except for the Snore Eternals. But so I like them. But I think, listen, while I don't whole hog agree with Martin Scorsese,
Good God.
I see what he was saying. That's an expression. Google it.
No, I know. It's just
So you just like
Makes me feel
you just like
funky.
roasting me
Like
Yeah.
a whole hog.
like a whole hog. Okay,
That was good. That was
and
good.
scene. I think that's it for today.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's giving very who won?
Who won? Who's next? Yeah, comment.
Epic rip battles of Socratic cinema.
Comment if like the video if Charlie was wrong. Comment if I was right. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you enjoyed the episode, and
Wait.
feel free to
And
follow.
do both if you just want me to get into a better living situation.
Please follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. They come out every Saturday. Whoop, whoop.
Woot.
If you would like to support us financially and encourage us even more to argue about stupid things like Scorsese and Tom Holland, none of it actually matters. Touch grass. #go outside. You can become a patron at patreon.com/Socratic Cinema for as little as $1 a month. By becoming a patron, you get access to all sorts of fun perks like episodes early, asking us questions on the air, getting your name in the descriptions and a vocal shout out, patron newsletters, a little pat on the head and a good night wish from me. You get a lot. You get a lot of good stuff.
A juicy oral kiss from Charlie.
I'm gonna need you to never
Whoa.
say that.
Wait, I just agree with whatever Kasey says, but I had to process that for a second.
Ah,
I mean, okay,
ew. First of all,
if you
nasty.
pay me an extra $5 on the side,
5. Know your worth, Charlie.
I should be selling myself for more.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying, Kasey?
Yes.
it was just a kiss.
Hello there, future employers.
Yeah, seriously. Jeez.
You can put
Wow.
if there's like an audio thing, like I hope that in the future we have like little audio snippets next to all of our employee ID cards. I want that to be my audio
wow.
snippet.
Rubbish. What a shame.
What a shame.
Dreadful.
Dreadful.
And with that, chefs, good night. It's been another episode of the Socratic Cinema Podcast. Hawkeye was good, am I right? Drop a comment if I was right and Hawkeye's good and you want all of the other hosts to go off the show. Adios.
Wow. Adios.
Anything else?
No. I guess I'm out of a job.
Yeah, because we pay a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, goodbye.
Adios, y'all.